Today I spent £40 in the charity shop and came away with 120 Pokémon cards and a very unusual Jean Marc Pokémon cards cost £30 for Jean Marc and cost another £10. But I have found two genuine bargains, or have I just bought £40 worth of stuff that nobody wants? Let's find out. Today's challenge was simple. Take £40 into a charity shop and see what I could find to resell for more. If you've been following the channel, you'll know I'm trying to build up my eBay reselling business one bargain at a time. I wasn't searching for anything specific. No particular brand, no particular category. I was just looking around to see what caught my eye, and I spotted a large collection of Pokémon cards. Now whenever I see a Pokémon card in a charity shop, I'm going to have a look. There were loads of them here. In total, 120. I gave one to my sons, which leaves me 119 cards to work with. The whole collection cost over £30, so that works out at roughly 25p per card. That's not bad at all if there are some decent cards mixed in. But Pokemon cards can be a bit of a trap. Just because a card has a familiar character on it doesn't mean it's valuable. Some cards are worth pennies, others can be surprisingly desirable. So I didn't want to get carried away with just because I found a big pile of Pokemon cards. The question was whether there was enough value here to justify the £30. Once I got home, I started going through the cards properly. This is the part of reselling I really enjoy. You never quite know what you're going to uncover with Pokemon cards. I'm checking the condition, the set, the rarity, and whether there are actually any demand. Some of these cards will be worth very little, that's almost a guarantee, but I don't need every card to be a winner. If I can find a few cards with decent value, they can make up for the cheaper ones. That's how reselling usually works. You're not looking for perfection across the whole purchase. You're just looking for enough good items to make the numbers work. So why did I take the risk and spend £30? The mere attraction was quantity. Even after giving one card to my son, I still have 119 cards to check, sort, and potentially sell. That gives me a few options. Some cards may be worth listing individually, other cards could work better in bundles or larger lots. Of course, I also need to think about eBay fees, postage, and the time involved and so on everything. A card might look valuable on paper, but the real test is where someone is actually prepared to buy. That's what matters. And while I was thinking about Pokemon values, I spotted something completely different nearby. These Pokemon cards weren't my only purchase. I found this Jean Marc 5 function organizer. It cost £10 and it's a very unusual item. It includes a watch, a calendar, calculator, all built in one gadget. So my £40 was split between two very different buys. £30 on Pokemon cards and £10 on the Jean Marc organizer. The cards are the quantity gamble. The Jean Marc item is more of a curiosity gamble. Now I need to work out whether either one had a realistic resale market. So the Jean Marc item I picked up at first glance looks like the sort of gadget you might walk straight past, but unusual items are often worth a closer look. It has the watch function, a calendar calculator, all in one small unit. It's practical, but it also feels like a product from another era, and that's what made me curious. Is this something people are actively looking for, or is it just an interesting object with no real demand? Finding something unusual is easy enough. Finding the right buyer is the difficult part. When I go home, I give it a proper inspection. First, I check the overall conditions, any scratches, any damages, does anything look missing. Then I test the different functions. The watch is also one of the main features. There's also a calendar calculator. It's also actually quite a clever little gadget when you think about it. A watch, a calendar calculator, and one compact item. It feels like a small piece of vintage technology, and it could appeal to collectors, gadget fans, or someone looking for something unusual. But interesting doesn't always mean profitable. This is where I have to switch from collector mode to reseller mode. I may think something is cool, but that doesn't automatically make it valuable. When I'm buying to resell, I'm asking 3 questions. Who would buy this? What would they pay? And and can I still make a profit after fees and postage. That's why soul blisters are so important. Item can be solicited for £50, £100 or even more, but that doesn't mean it's worth that amount. I want to see what similar items have actually sold for. That gives me a much more realistic idea of whether I found a bargain. So altogether I've spent £40. 30 went on the 100 Pokémon cards, and another 10 went on Jean Marc item. Two completely different purchases, two very different resale strategies. The Pokémon card gave me volume and plenty of chances to find something valuable. The Jean Marc is a single unusual product that needs the right buyer. And that's what makes charity shop reselling so unpredictable. You can walk in looking for nothing and walk out with two completely different opportunities. So what happens now? Pokémon cards need sorting. I'll check what sets are from, look at the condition and work out whether the individual listings or bundle makes the most sense. The Jean Marc organizer needs its own proper eBay listing. That means clear photos, an accurate title, and a description that explains exactly what it does. With unusual items, detail matters. The buyer needs to know the condition, the function, and any faults before they commit to buying it. I'll also make sure I'm honest about anything I find because I say what's worthwhile if the item comes straight back. Now I'm not going to claim I've turned £40 to £100 just yet, nothing so. Until I buy an actual place, any value I mention is only an estimate. That's something I want to keep realistic on this channel. You could buy something for £2 and find listings suggestions worth £50, but if nobody buys for £50, it's not worth £50 to me. The sale is what counts, so I'm going to list the cards in the Jean Marc organizer, see what happens and then judge the result properly. That's when we'll know whether this £40 charity shop was a success or not. And this is exactly why I enjoy making these videos. I'm not just showing you what I bought, I'm testing whether these cheap charity shop finds can become profitable eBay stock. Every purchase involves a bit of risk. Sometimes you find something brilliant, sometimes the value is much lower than expected, and sometimes you find an item that sits online for weeks waiting for the one person who wants it. That's all part of reselling. The Pokémon cards could provide several smaller sales, where the Jean Marc organizer might be the surprise winner, or both could be disappointing me completely. We'll have to wait and see. So there we have it, £40 at a charity shop, £30 on hard Pokémon cards we won't be giving away, and £10 on a Jean Marc 5 function organizer. Would you have spent £30 on Pokémon cards? And what do you think about the Jean Marc item? Is it a clever little bargain, or is it just going to sit around waiting for the buyer? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoy watching charity shop finds, turn in any eBay listings and hopefully profit, make sure you subscribe. I'll show you what these items actually sell for, so we can find out whether this £40 really does turn in a profit. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.